So I'm trying to think of it, how it would play out from your standpoint. Obviously, you're talking with this person beforehand. Let's say the trial date comes and you show up and your client doesn't. In that immediate moment, how do you handle that situation? Let's say if it's not a crazy offense, they're just gone. Like, how do you handle that in the courtroom?
Well, even if it is a crazy offense, I'm going to ask the judge for a continuance. And if my client's not here, I got to find him. I've got to find my client, and I'll ask the judge for a continuance. And I will put all of my efforts now into doing the final prep for their case. I'm running around trying to find my client, which is never a good day. If I'm trying to find my client, so I'm making phone calls. I'm doing everything to try to find him, to encourage him to say, listen, you hired me. Your chances of winning are probably pretty good. You invested a lot of time, money, and effort to have me represent you. Let's go win this thing. Let's come back and let's go win this. And I will do everything within my power to get some sort of a continuance so I don't have to try the case with the empty chair. Depending on the judge, that may be granted, or the judge might say he has 15 minutes to be here, or we're going to try the case without him, right? Depending on the judge, each judge is a little bit different. But if that happens to me, and it has never happened yet, there have been a few times where I did not think my client was going to show up. There have been a few times where I had honest questions of whether my client was going to be there in the morning or be there for trial, and they all have. And I'm proud of the record that none of my clients have run. Not a single one has run, at least not that I can think of. But I've had a couple of times where I'm thinking, oh, crap, maybe they won't be here in the morning for a whole host of reasons, but they always showed up. But if that were to happen to me, I do my damnedest to find them, because I don't want to try the case without them, because the panel is going to be looking and it's going to be a bad day for them. And so even if it's a case I can win, the optics are really bad when your client's not there and you have the empty chair. The optics are really bad. And so your chance of winning go down dramatically.
Right. I mean, it's obviously out of your control, but is there some onus put on you? Like, are you then kind of put on the spot of like, hey, what's going on here? And you're left to kind of explain the situation?
No, the onus isn't on me. I'm not going to get in trouble for it. But if you don't think the 06 judge is looking at me saying, Bilecki, where the hell is your client? And I'm saying, I don't know, Judge. I saw him last night. We were prepping. And last time I saw him, he had it backpacked. And he looked like he was headed for the airport. I don't know. It's the prosecution's responsibility to ensure clients there, which is why you have escorts. So every time you have an accused show up for a trial, they will almost always be given escorts. And the escorts are going to outrank them. They're typically senior NCOs or staff NCOs. Their duty is to make sure they are there in court. That is their duty. And so you get assigned, whether you are a private, corporal, or a captain, or a colonel, you will have an escort assigned to you for trial, whether you like it. And their job is to make sure you're there. So it's really on them, and it's on the command. And so while the judge may not be very thrilled with me if I lose my client, the reality is it's not on me as a civilian. It's not even on the military council. Now, the defense counsel is on the command. And it's funny, it's interesting that in the Marine Corps only, how the Marine Corps has their cool nuances. They're called escorts in every other service, but they're not called escorts in the Marine Corps. Any guesses on what the Marine Corps calls them? They're escorts in every other service because you escort the accused to trial. In the Marine Corps, they have zero faith you're actually going to show up because it's the Marine Corps. They call them chasers. They are doctrinally called chasers. And so the Air Force, the Navy, and the Army, you have escorts. In the Marine Corps, you have chasers. And they are chosen because they have a good PT score and they can run fast. And they are told to chase you if you run. So there you go. They're called chasers. But it's their job. It's their responsibility to make sure that the individual shows up for trial. That being said, I have had someone run. I've had two clients run, but they showed up for court. They ran prior to trial. If you're facing a court-martial and your circumstances is so bad that you've considered running and not showing up for trial, don't do it. The best solution for you is to figure out an actual strategy to win a trial. Don't run. I can walk you through this entire process before it gets worse than it already is. Give me a call at 813-669-3500 and let's talk it through.